Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're taking a bit of a detour through a medieval fantasy land.
Sounds interesting.
It is because our source material gives us this really insightful analogy for the entire journey of learning a foreign language.
Okay.
So forget the usual charts and progress bars. Instead, I want you to picture this. Learning a language is like living inside an ancient city. You're safe, you're comfortable, and you're surrounded by these strong stone walls.
And that analogy is, surprisingly powerful. This walled city, it represents those initial stages of language learning, the beginner level, where everything feels structured and well protected.
Exactly.
So our mission today is to unpack how this metaphor really maps onto fluency and specifically where AI fits in as a guide. A guide to help you find the way out of that city.
Right, because the city itself is the starting point. It's cozy, it's known, but it's also, very limiting. You're just surrounded by simple vocabulary and these controlled practice loops.
And if you want to experience the real world, the mountains, the rivers, the oceans out there, which represent everything from, say, literature to professional jargon, you have to get out.
You have to leave.
And the absolute key to that escape is passing through what the sources call the gate of listening.
Okay, so let's start there. Life inside the city walls. This is the beginner level. You're learning the alphabet, practicing short expressions, building some simple vocabulary. Now, we all know AI can help here, that's obvious. But what's the real nugget here? What makes this phase truly different now?
It's all about personalization, even at this really basic level.
Yeah.
You see, in the old days, every learner inside the city got, well, basically the same list of 500 common words.
The same textbook for everyone.
Exactly. But modern AI, it changes the city's architecture for you. If you tell your AI guide, I'm a medical student learning Korean, it doesn't just repeat words slowly. It instantly filters your foundational vocabulary.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it starts generating tailored exercises using basic medical terms, medical situations. You're still safe inside the walls, but the practice is immediately relevant to your actual life.
So the journey inside the city becomes meaningful, not just, rote memorization. It gives you a sense of purpose before you even see the gate.
It does.
But I have to ask, if the city is so comfortable and AI is this incredibly patient teacher, what's the danger? Could AI actually make the city too comfortable?
That's the critical challenge, absolutely.
Yeah, you never want to leave.
Comfort breeds complacency. You risk staying in that beginner bubble.
Right.
Just mastering simplified grammar and audio that's been slowed way down. The real goal of the city isn't just learning. It's building up your tolerance for ambiguity, for things you don't understand.
So the AI has to gently push you towards the gate.
It has to. And that transition is exactly what brings us to the gate of listening.
Yeah.
What actually defines that moment. It's not just about understanding a few more words, is it?
It can't be.
Not at all. The gate is the moment you switch from those simplified recorded sentences to the chaos of the real world.
Natural pronunciation.
Natural pronunciation, native speed, real conversational back and forth. It's the point where passive listening stops and active comprehension really starts.
Okay, so the sources say reaching this gate means you can survive outside the walls. Let's break that down. What does survival listening actually feel like?
Survival listening is not about understanding everything. I mean, if you aim for perfection, you'll never leave the city.
Right.
It means you have enough pattern recognition to tolerate huge gaps in what you're hearing. You can catch soft conversation, you can deal with noise, and you can guess meaning pretty reliably, even if you miss some words.
It's about removing the fear.
That's it. That paralyzing feeling you get when you realize you can't just pause the world and look something up.
And this is where AI supposedly accelerates everything, faster than any method we've had before. We're talking about voice tools.
This is the really interesting technical part. Think about old language labs. If you mispronounced a word, the software would analyze the phones, the sounds.
Right, it just checked if the sound wave matched.
Yes. And if your tongue was slightly in the wrong place, it would just fail you. It didn't care if a real person would have understood what you meant.
So it focused on the sound being perfect, even if the meaning was clear.
Precisely. Modern AI uses natural language processing, or NLP. It prioritizes semantic intent, the meaning. So if you say a clumsy sentence like, I go to library tomorrow, with a terrible accent,
Which I've definitely done.
we all have, the AI understands the meaning first, because the words and the structure are recognizable. And only then, after it gets what you mean, does it give you specific feedback on your pronunciation. It separates the two.
Wow, okay.
And that ability to prioritize meaning and then refine the delivery, That's what breaks down the barrier to the gate so much faster. It gives you usable language, not perfect language.
That's a huge shift. It validates communication over perfection. And that instant 204/7 feedback loop, it lets you iterate and just get through the gate.
But stepping outside is just the first step. And this
Mhm.
is key. You open the gate and you're looking out at this vast, undefined landscape.
It's intimidating.
It is. And the sources are very clear. You must know how you want to travel. This inner sight goal is critical. If you don't define your purpose, you exit the safe city only to stand there, basically paralyzed.
So it's not just about getting out, it's about knowing why you got out. What kind of journeys are we talking about here?
Well, they're defined by what you need the language for, right?
Yeah.
Is it just for talking to local people, casual stuff? Or are you working abroad in a really specialized field? Maybe you want to build deep friendships, or you're focused on high-level academic study, like reading complex texts.
And this seems like the perfect new role for AI. It goes from being an instructor to more of a strategic planning advisor. How does it help you define that goal?
It acts like a really smart interviewer. It doesn't just accept, I want to be fluent.
It pushes back.
It does. It forces you to be specific. It'll ask things like, what 3 specific situations will you use this language in next month? Or what level of formality do you need? By forcing you to answer questions tied to your real life, as a student, a worker, whatever you are, it helps you build the map for your journey.
And that clarity is everything.
Absolutely. The clearer the goal, the faster the traveling. And once that purpose is defined, the big, scary world outside suddenly organizes itself. It has destinations. This is where the analogy gets really good.
I do love these geographical metaphors for skills. So you're outside the gate. What happens now?
Well, if you decide to go to the mountain, you're focusing on conquering advanced grammar, complex sentences. Here, AI becomes your parser. It'll break down incredibly dense texts for you.
Okay. And what if you head for the sea?
The C is all about speaking and communication, real-time interaction. This is where you use AI as a kind of a tireless conversation partner. It can simulate high-pressure job interviews or just rapid back-and-forth dialogue without any of that fear of being judged.
In the big cities. That sounds specialized.
It is. That's professional vocabulary. AI tools here can simulate business meetings, help you draft industry reports, give you instant feedback on whether you're using jargon correctly.
And finally, what about exploring other countries?
That represents learning multiple languages at once, or maybe achieving a really high level of cultural fluency. The AI can act as a cross-cultural filter, comparing idioms or social norms between your target languages.
So the AI guide doesn't just get you to the gate and leave you, it stays with you on the whole journey. This brings up the actual effort involved, though. The source mentioned a personal 2-year journey learning Vietnamese. Can you give a specific example of what that long-term support actually looks like?
Yeah, that part shows that you still have to put in the work, but the work is structured for you. For example, during that 2-year journey, the AI's guidance wasn't just your grammar is wrong. It was acting more like a sociocultural editor.
What does that mean?
I mean, you could give it a conversational prompt, and the AI could tell you, based on the specific regional dialect you're studying, if the slang you chose is okay for a business meeting in Hanoi versus, say, a casual street chat in Ho Chi Minh City.
No textbook could ever do that in real time.
Exactly. It moves beyond just language mechanics into actual cultural navigation. And it lets you study at your own pace across any terrain you choose. It structures the effort, making the path clear and, like the source says, maybe 2 times easier.
And that efficiency comes from the constant focused feedback that's tied directly to the purpose you set at the beginning.
That's the whole loop.
So if we step back, the core idea here is that AI gives you the clarity and the speed to break out of that beginner stage, but only if you know why you're going. The gate of listening isn't the final destination.
Not at all. It's the starting line for all real communication.
For the real journey.
And once you've gone through that process yourself, once you've reached your own gate, you understand the whole mechanism of learning so well that you can actually help others. You can be the guide for someone else learning English or Korean and help them find their own unique goal.
That's a fantastic outcome. Becoming a mentor just by finishing your own personalized journey. So let's leave you with a final thought to mull over.
Okay.
If AI's unique talent is helping you define your specific language purpose based on your unique life, as a worker, a traveler, a student, what previously overlooked life goal, maybe one not even related to language, could be unlocked the moment you successfully step through that gate of listening. Think beyond just translation. Think about identity.